Hello, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be talking about the Minolta 75-300 big Beercan lens. Now, to all intents and purposes, this is a monster of a lens. It's heavy, it's made of metal, and frankly, they don't build them like this anymore. And for me personally, I find this series of lenses to be somewhat... I'm not sure exactly how to describe it. I guess I'll just say I'm a child of the 80s, and these were produced around when I was coming out of high school, in my 18s to 20s. And there's just something about this, the way these were produced back then, that just touches me in a way that modern lenses just can't seem to accomplish. Now, this, as I said, is a monster of a lens. I think, well, it's, how do I describe it? I'm a bit of a loss for words, unfortunately. I think, well, the way I've rationalized it to myself is that I spent a lot of money on my A6500, and when it was all said and done, I was looking at close to $1,800, $1,400, $1,500, I don't know, a lot of money, Canadian dollars, and there just wasn't that much money left over for lenses. So, but why have this fantastic camera if I can't attach a variety of lenses to explore the craft? So I started thinking about that, and I started thinking, well, how do I go? Where do I go? What do I do? And then I touched on this adapter here, which is the Sony LA-EA4, which allows you to mount A-mount lenses to the E-mount system. And even that proposition was a bit much. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that for me, the camera itself was probably a bit of a stretch to begin with, but then, I was a bit of a shocker when it came to examining the price of the lenses themselves. And maybe I should have gone with a different system. But personally, I think the Sony mirrorless cameras are, at this point in time, epitomizing the technology or the capabilities the potential capabilities that this technology offers to photographers. And I've basically made up my mind that this is the way I want it to go. So I've had to compromise in the direction of the lenses. So this, the LA-EA4, thanks Sony for their fantastic naming system, is about $200 and something American. I think I paid close to $3 Canadian for it, and it opened up a world of potential that I would not have been able to access otherwise. I would have been limited to a couple of these Sony 16 to 15mm lenses, which I have two of these actually because I use them for my audio, for my video work. And I also have a, as far as the E-mount systems go, I have this Sony, it's the kit lens that's the FE model, the FE 28 to 70, and this is not really thought of that favorably, and it has this sort of plasticky feel. It has steady shot inside, and I'm sure it's an adequate lens, but it just doesn't have that romance. So I haven't really used this, and I will eventually, because otherwise I'll have to sell it. But getting back to these Minolta lenses, I wanted to do this video first, the video about this 28 to 80, and it was with the personal understanding that I would decry this lens because of how it feels and how much it reminded me of this this Sony 28 to 70 because it has substantially the same feel. This is even lighter, and it feels like it shouldn't really work, but it has something to it too. And I found to my surprise that, well, I'm going to have to explore that further down the road. But it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have that nostalgia that tugs at you like the way these big metallic monsters do. So again, getting back to this lens, this is the 75-300. Now, I paid about $100 for this lens. To get a comparable 75-300 for the E-mount system, I'm going to be paying quite a lot. There's, I think, a Tamron lens. There's a Sony, but those are A-mount lenses. But I mean, in terms of E-mount lenses, I'm looking at like 8 to 10 times what I paid for this lens. So it's just not a viable option. Now, again, getting back to the specifics here, what this does is 75-300. This is similar to the regular Beercan, except this has a spread of aperture ranges. I think it goes from 4 to 4.5. Is that what this is? What does it say up here? 4.5 to 5.6. The barrel extends. I think this is reasonable. It's not like some of these really stubby ones that extend like almost 3 times. So this is a reasonable extension of the lens. The zooming ring is decent. It focuses. I can have this on the camera and then zoom this with one hand. And I'm going to go up to the roof and take a few shots with this in a bit. Now, the other interesting thing is this focus limiter, and I have not used this yet because I don't really see the point of it. I guess it's supposed to have some faster focusing within a certain range. And the way this works is that if you set this dial to infinity and then set the limit, then it gives you the range from, how does it work now? I'm on Kurt Munger's site for my little cheat sheet here, and he said it was that I suppose you could probably check it out there yourself, but when you turn the limit, you have 2 options. You can limit the focus range from 1.5 meters to 3 meters. You do this by manually setting the focal distance, put that back to full, to 1.5. Oh, I see. So setting it here, 1.5. So there, to the end. Then you hit limit, like that, and then that sets the limit. Oh, I can hear it. Oh, that's interesting. I can hear it in there. The other way is that you set it to infinity, and then set the limit. And on the infinity, for the range of 4 meters to infinity, you set the focus distance to infinity and turn the thing, and then it goes from 4 meters out, which I suppose is reasonable. I mean, if you're just looking at something that's not close, then why not use it? Honestly, I'm afraid that I'm going to break something inside if I fool around with it. I don't know. It's just one of those things. So, yeah, and as far as the kinds of pictures it takes, I think this is a lovely camera. I was actually blown away. I expected this, there's like talking about chromatic aberration, and it has that, but I mean, there's a lot of old lenses that have those kinds of shortcomings, but you can work around them these days. I mean, there's Lightroom is just a fantastic post-processing software, and you can tweak it to your heart's content and get pretty darn good results, I think. So as long as you understand what you're doing, you keep it in aperture priority, you stop it down a bit, and you have a nice cheap damn lens. So let's see, another little idiosyncrasy this has is that you have to put the hood on there first before you put the cap, because you can't take the the hood off with the cap on there. So you have to take the cap off, then the hood, and vice versa. So yeah, so I'm just going to put this on here, and then I'm just going to take a couple of shots, or a few shots up on the roof. I'll bring you guys up there with me, and we can continue our little session up there. So there we are, locked and loaded. So I'll just put this back on there. I get up to the roof, and there we go, and away we go. I have the camera set in aperture priority mode. Well, on our roof here, it's a really warm, out of seasonal day. It's a nice set of chrysanthemums right here. That's lovely, just beautiful. So the thinking is that if you stop this camera down, if you stop this lens down, that it corrects a lot of the issues that this apparently has. Oh, that's nice. So I'm a bit nervous. Whoops, I lost my tether. Excuse me for a second. Whew. So I'm going to just actually bodily move this thing around. Sort of behind me might be a better thing. So let's go for a little walk. Hopefully we won't lose anything on the way. Whoops. So let's see, there's some, oh, it looks like they picked the tomatoes. Oh, there's some yellow chrysanthemums right there. Ah, there we go. Whoa, that's exceedingly bright. That is a super bright day. All right, let's move over here. Check out the sunflowers right here. That's just gorgeous. There's a honeybee there. Oh, I can't get it. All right, moving on. We're gonna, oh, I should maybe take a couple of shots here. That's awesome. All right, so let's I'll show you the other side where we can see some of the street music that goes on here. Yeah, there we go. So I'll be able to do the full extent. I'm still fooling around with my lav mic here. I should have some fun in the editing afterwards. All right, so see, now just for reference, we'll do same shot at 75 millimeters. There we go. The Minolta big beer can, 75 to 300 millimeters.